Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Software Engineer K, and we've got some really cool stuff to go to today. We're going to be going through some new licenses, confirmations, some previous speculation I had, which have found a bit more evidence for, a bit more speculation. But we're also going to be going on the dynamics of the current NFT market in terms of within the VeVe app itself and how some of the prices have evolved and why, as well as what I believe may happen to the future dynamics of the NFT market within VeVe as well. We're also going to be touching a little bit on how that's impacting the current Omi Burn as well, which is linking to our daily price analysis. And I did also want to give a community shout out as well to some really cool people. So without further ado, I do want to jump straight into our previous video. So I touched on carbon neutrality and how VeVe can leverage that in order to raise awareness of their platform. Do have a watch this video if you have not. But what I find really cool is, Ecomi, they tend to reply to this stuff. Anyone who has like ideas to share, they'll usually kind of, acknowledge that, discuss that. They really engage with the community, and I really like that because this is a project where the project is being driven by the community. It's not, the project says they're going to do this and then the community just follows them. Like, that is awesome. So definitely share your ideas. I've seen more people sharing ideas with Ecomi. Recently, I saw someone who suggested for your NFTs, you could have like the Jurassic World ones, you could have eggs, and then those eggs would hatch into the NFT. So you do some kind of task. And BC Trevor, the content creation guy for VeVe, he actually really liked the idea. And very recently, we saw on Twitter, VeVe has shared a kind of image of an egg. And people are speculating what it is, and it's got Ritmos written in the middle, #Ritmo. So I think they're just distracting from the egg with Ritmo in there. But I think they might do something with eggs. So that is really cool. Now, what I want to jump straight into is, in the past, I have spoken quite a bit about Marvel. There was hints, but it was like very kind of like light speculation. And over time, we started seeing more and more hints. And I made a video in the past where I said that, hey, VeVe is following Sony on Twitter and Shrek, and we might see those in the future. And then later on in the Jeffries Q&A session that they had about NFTs, Dan C, we saw that Sony was there on his list of licenses that they're working with. So it was confirmed, and we speculated that because they were following Sony already. And now, from yesterday, we saw on their Instagram they started following Marvel Studios, Disney, and then today, on Twitter, they've started following Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment, and that is confirmation. Very shortly after, a couple of weeks after we saw that they were following Sony, we then had confirmation that they had Sony at that conference, and they've started following Marvel Studios. Let's see what they have in season 2. I think season 2 is going to be pretty crazy compared to what we had in beta in season 1. So on that point, I did also want to touch on my previous video that I did. So this was quite an early one where we found a Captain America asset in the source files. So do have a look at that as well. That's just additional confirmation for Marvel, and kind of like the first kind of confirmation that I had for myself that really kind of got the ball rolling for me. And that's where I started looking for more confirmations. Now, in terms of the dynamics of the marketplace, we know that Ritmo is now the first animated NFT, and there are going to be others in the future, definitely. We know that the Monster Hunter one from the David Yu's Instagram, that is also animated. Now, we have an interesting dynamic happening in the NFT marketplace. Ritmo's value went from like 700 to 800 gems to over 1,000. Like, I can't find any below 1,000 anymore. That's because it's the first animated NFT, which makes sense. Now, the Dragon Girl, it was being listed for about 700, 800, 900 gems until someone found this. I guess it counts as a defect. When you zoom in, you can see like the camera and lighting, and people have said that this should not be there. And then all of a sudden, I see all the Dragon Girls listed for minimum 1,400 gems. So that just goes to show that as people kind of discover things that maybe shouldn't be there, that speculation drives up the NFT prices. So as well as features being added, NFTs being upgraded, that's going to drive up the price. We're also going to see, people discovering random things that even get past VeVe and the licensors, and then that's going to drive up the price. Because in a previous Instagram post, David Yu was asked, "Hey David, since you understand collectibles more than most, I'd like to ask, do you believe a misprint could make an NFT more desirable since the collectible was minted without the artist company realizing?" And David Yu said, "Totally, as long as the error was corrected with a re-release." And then they said, "Thank you for the response. Do you believe VeVe would ever do a re-release on an item if a misprint were found?" And he said, in short answer, yes, but we will need to look into each case. We will also do a record of damaged product. So that's interesting because he said that they may do re-releases, but at the same time, they would need to review what the defect is. And we've had other defects as well that people highlight, like the bang on the Joker. There was a missing exclamation mark. Also an issue with the artist's name on the penguin. So all of these kind of drive up the prices on speculation, and people are now, I guess, speculating on the Golden Dragon. But again, that just might be because the floor price of the Golden Dragon Gale has been rising just because it has such a low mint, only less than 888, because 40 of those go to like the licenses and are used for promotions and whatnot. So that's just something to think about as well. But on that point, what I did also want to touch on is we have had a really cool post shared in the VeVe Collectible Facebook group. So Josh Koff, he shared this image of Toy Tokyo, and this is, I believe, Vegito. So it's a fusion of Goku with Vegeta, and this is posted on Toy Tokyo. But VeVe Digital Collectibles has liked this picture, and quite recently, so this is pretty cool. Dragon Ball Z. Quite recently, on Crypto Crayon's channel, there was an old Medium article that resurfaced. Within that article, they're talking about Ecomi Collect. So this is kind of like the old name of what it used to be before they rebranded to VeVe. And they had some examples of like the kind of licenses that we could have. So they mentioned Lord of the Rings, absolutely massive. Marvel, we've had hints. DC, they've got that. Star Wars, we've had hints. Star Trek, that's confirmed now. Game of Thrones, HBO, so we have had hints for that. And then if we go through, Blizzard, right? We could definitely got Capcom, so that kind of falls into this category. Dragon Ball Z, this is what we're looking at right now. Pokemon, the one that everyone's talking about. Someone pointed out Simpsons to me because Simpsons was present at the exact same licensing expo that David Yu was at a few years back, and that same expo is where they had a lot of the license that they've currently announced. Those were also present. So they had Tokidoki there, they had Ultraman. There was some pretty cool ones. And speaking of Tokidoki, that was mentioned here. Hello Kitty, we've seen in a previous video of theirs. This is okay. Out of all of these here, I think this might be the most unknown one if you're outside of the UK, but it's one of the biggest ones, Banksy. So for those who don't know Banksy, he's a UK artist who basically his graffiti is worth millions. There's a very, very specific niche market for Banksy artwork, and if there's any kind of Banksy NFT that comes to VeVe, then if it's if I'm using the actual physical artworks as any kind of reference, then those would be worth tens of thousands to potentially 1 million gems. So I don't know how that would work. Depends on the number of mints and whatnot, but I think hopefully they make it a bit more accessible. But any Banksy NFT will bring in an entirely new market, a market that we've never seen before into this app. So that's something really, really cool. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z, if they can pull that off, again, that's a new market. They're looking at anime as a vertical that they want to explore. So properties within anime that they're going to bring on board to VeVe. I think VeVe is a perfect platform for that. So that is really, really cool. And on that point, we know that Omi Burn has been driven specifically by the sale of NFTs, as well as secondary market transactions. We had 250 million Omi burnt, and just relaying what Mark, the VeVe Wiki guy, said. He said 250 million from one drop of an artist that 99% of us didn't know existed before this week. The tokenomics are undeniably bullish, and I 100% agree. We're seeing a lot more burn now, and I think that's in part, or mostly in part, due to the reduction in value of Omi as a token right now. The cheaper the Omi is, the more Omi we will burn every time we have a drop. And I am perfectly happy with Omi being at a low price, partly because we got massive burn, so that's going to help us in the long term when more people find out about this app and they start jumping on, as well as if it's low right now, I can accumulate more, and I'm really happy to do that. I mean, the obvious answer is, if you have $1,000 to spend on Omi, would you rather get, 200,000 Omi or 100,000 because the value of Omi's gone up. Like, I would much rather purchase at a lower price, and then when everyone starts knowing about Omi and everyone starts jumping on, then at that point it's too late to buy and low. You're not going to get as much growth out of it. Like, now's the time to kind of get in and jump on that growth with Ecomi. And I did also want to touch on the community. So shout out to the community. I now have the full set of Dragon Gales. So I've got the gold, silver, and then two colored ones, the uncommon and common. And so I was actually gifted the silver one by a really, really cool person within the community, Brock. He gifted this one to me, and that just made my day. Super happy, as well as Adam Awesomeface. He gifted me, a nice, super generous donation towards getting a new mic, because I have said that my mic sometimes kind of does this weird thing where the volume kind of goes up and down, and sometimes it cuts out and I have to do retakes. So I'm super happy about that. Like, I super appreciate any donation, even if it's $2, like whatever it is, because for some people $2, relative to them, it's a lot of money. And if you think I'm worth even a penny of your hard-earned money, then I'm like super appreciative of that. If anyone thinks I'm worth giving any like donation to, then I feel very humbled about that. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the community. So I'm gonna have like a kind of wall of appreciation in the description now, and I'm probably just gonna leave that there forever. So just to kind of permanently immortalize anyone who does donate. But if you don't want to be on there, then just let me know. If you just want to have a donation to support the content, the channel, but you don't want your kind of name to be plastered for all of eternity, then just let me know. But on that point of pricing, I did also want to touch on our daily price analysis. So Omi has been on a downtrend and is staying around this region. I set a pending buy in a 0.35 range. We've come very close, and this just seems to keep happening to me. Every time I set a pending buy, the price kind of comes right above it, but it doesn't hit it. So I have to keep moving my pending buy. But I guess that's a good sign for the recent price movement of Omi. I guess we are starting to go a bit more bullish, and we're forming a kind of wedge here. So I believe we will have a short-term breakout, but I don't see us moving significantly upwards, because I did say Omi was oversold. So I think what is going to be happening is, as long as Bitcoin, if it goes up massively because Elon Musk does a U-turn or something, then Omi is going to be moving up. If we hear more bearish news about Bitcoin, then then Omi is going to be coming back down. So that is just something to keep your eyes peeled for, just to keep lookout. But yeah, in the short term, I personally see us continuing around this range. I don't see us moving beyond 0.5 cents, which is good. I kind of want it to be around that range because we've seen the power of how much burn we can get, and I want to accumulate more Omi just because I want to, maximize, the growth of Ecomi as a platform. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through with you guys today. As always, please do like and subscribe to support the content. Thank you so much for supporting me, and anything that you want to contribute, I'm super appreciative. I just cannot stress that enough, because this is a really cool community. I really like, this is my favorite crypto community I've ever been a part of, so I just wanted to stress that again. But thanks so much, guys. I'll keep you guys updated with anything else I find out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.